Hey guys, welcome back. This is Ryan here with another stock chart video. Basically, we're going to be running down the stock Exact Sciences today. I've picked about a year and a half back from today's date. Hopefully, we get through all of this to where we get to today, where the stock is at today. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I like, what I don't like, where I would be buying possibly, where I would be selling, how I would be going about it, what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for, you know, resistance, support, highs, lows, you know, all the good stuff, all kinds of fun. So hopefully you learned something here. This is really just to um, help you become a better trader. It's to help me become a better trader, and my trading has improved significantly since I've started doing these videos. I love technical analysis. I've been studying fundamental analysis for about 12 years, and I'm more on the technical side for probably about 4 to 5 years, and the technical side has helped me tremendously. Mark Minervini, Stan Weinstein, those guys, the pioneers of a lot of this stuff. I don't know, maybe the newer pioneers, I guess you could say. They really helped me out. Minervini's books were fantastic. Stan Weinstein as well. But so let's get started here. We got Exact Sciences, EXAS is the stock symbol. So I just picked an arbitrary spot. Let's get started. So to the left of the chart, we're at 116, and to the right, we are at about 87, 88. We'll notice that volume is a little dried up. It looks to be slightly more on the seller side of things here. As we first take note, it had a bit of a channel here, and it's dropped below that channel. So as of right now, you could say this is a bit of a downtrend. It did have some resistance over in this range here, but it looks to have met with resistance right off the bat. So let's just continue forward. So as of right now, I wouldn't be in this stock with the looks of this. I'd probably have it on my watch list at this juncture because it's, we've got the 120 range here and we got the 85 range over here to 90 range. So, I mean, you're down off the high, it looks like, from this vantage point. So let's just take a look, continuing forward. Will it consolidate sideways? It looks like it. It's building actually a bit of a slight little cup here or something of that sort. Let's just see where this continues on. And probably just going to continue sideways for a little bit here. Going to break upwards slightly. So yeah, just staying in this channel. So right now the information we have down here, we got a 78 low, a 103 high. That's our channel at the moment. 103 high over here, and we're at that 80 low. So could it bounce off of this level? It could. If you're a trend trader, would you get in here? Maybe. Some people would, some wouldn't. It's a little bit risky for my taste. But we've seen a double top here as well. So we don't really know. You're seeing a big down bar. You're seeing big seller volume. I would consider this to be a downtrend. I wouldn't be a buyer here. And let's continue forward. And it goes downward. Okay, so downward, downward. You'll notice the slope of this bottom Keltner channel. It's just really pretty high, pretty steep slope there with the stochastic as well. Yeah, it's just all this extra space, open space of the Keltner channel up here that you have. So it's just we're in a downtrend right now. And so what are we looking for here? What I'm looking for is I'm looking for some confirmation that this is going to turn here at some point. We just looked to the left of the chart and we saw 120 range. Now we're at 60 range. So this stock has been cut in half. This stock should be on your watch list at this point. Now, do we just want to catch a falling knife? Absolutely not. I don't believe in that. This big green bar was no consideration for me to buy in at this point. The sellers have taken over this stock. It's really not at all attractive to me at this juncture, but it is on my watch list just because it's been cut in half. So But I want to see a base. I want to see a confirmation that buyers are going to come in and turn this thing around. And when will that happen? I'm not real sure. Will this be a low risk buy to get in this stock at 50? Yeah, probably, depending on where it's been. But, it's been at 120. We know that. It obviously was not, the market felt it was not worth that. So it's now back down to 50. I would be looking to keep a close eye on this, and this is breaking below the 50 level. It is dropped to 42, 43 range. So we have seen a massive drop here in a short amount of time, and makes you wonder why it does that. There can be many reasons for that, but it's just continuing. I mean, it's below 40 and a big green bar. Okay. So, we saw a lot of seller volume there. Stochastic is just done nothing. Don't have a lot of information to really go off of at this point. Could this be a buy, a turning point? If you want to go long this stock, I could see buying in here. Buying at 48 to, if you got in at 40 for this stock, and this stock was just at 100, I mean, look at how that has changed in that quick of a time frame. My goodness. So I could actually, if I like this stock, I would probably take a bet here. And even if it breaks down a little farther down, I would probably stay the course. I just feel this is a low risk play. I feel this is a good opportunity. We've got a large change reversal. You'll notice it's overtaking the past 3 down days, and this was kind of a death cross right there, kind of a no bar there. So I'm hoping that this is exhausted, but let's just continue on. So I would say I'd put a position here, and let's see where it goes. And probably going to consolidate, maybe make its way upward, and it does. So if we did buy here, we're already getting rewarded. And this was a quick, it looks like it's going to be a V-shaped recovery here, maybe with a little lip on the end, maybe not. We shall see. Maybe it's going to just consolidate. And not a whole lot of buyers came in, though. I mean, there was not a lot of conviction here, but I think this just is a low-risk play at this point. It's just, a good company, a good stock, and it just was oversold. And that showed. So, I mean, if we bought in here, let's say we bought in at like 47, 48 range, and now we're up at the, we've made a 20-point profit in a matter of days, So, I mean, that's what we're looking for, man. You compound that, and that's huge. So, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We're still in this. Let's see if we even take profits from this. We'll see. So I would stay the course, have a stop loss set, but I think it's going to continue higher. Looks like it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. It's above 70 right now. Let's see if it heads back to this range. So could we have bought more? Yeah, I most likely would have bought more. I probably would have bought more here or possibly here. Just depends. So if I started a position, this could be half position, this could be 3/4 position. Stop losses all along the way. We want to be careful. We don't want to give away our hard-earned money. We're working for this. So notice a complete change in green from red. It's not significant, but it is enough to just continue the truck higher here. So this could break over 80 if it wants to, if it has enough steam or not. We'll see. And it does. So it's looking pretty right now. If we bought here, and we bought here, we're doing pretty good. So continuing on, could it break down? It's staying above this Keltner. Let's use this as kind of a home base as of right now. Let's see if it breaks below that. If it does, we'll consider about raising our stop loss just to take a little profit possibly, or let's look for more information. And I think it's going to continue higher. It's just kind of forming this channel upward, which is looking pretty nice actually. I like this. So continuing, big red bar. Still not below that mid Keltner channel, but it's starting to maybe turn a little bit. Not concerning, but it does look like a dry up of volume as well. So definitely check your stop losses here. You know, you don't want to give up all your profit. You definitely don't want to start losing um, your original position money. So, and is it going to break that middle? It bounces right off of that. Look at that. So really, we can use this middle level to kind of, you know, if you don't have a lot of support and you don't support levels to go off of, and you're just like, where should I put my stop loss? You can use this mid Keltner line to go off of that. And obviously, we wouldn't want it at the Keltner line, but we'd want it below that to kind of look at where our stop losses may have to be. So. Continuing forward, though, it bounced right off of that mid Kelt. Look at that. So we've seen resistance from that, and it's just forming a channel upward. So I mean, we're at 86 right now. If we bought in down here at 50, in the 50 range, even the 40 range, you've doubled your money from this original position. How cool is that? Pretty cool. So continuing on, let's see if it breaks below that mid Kelt. It's just staying right in between both of them. Look at this. This is just, and it finally breaks. But it's also met with a green bar. Just barely broke. It broke for a second here, and then it rose above that. So it didn't overcome this entire red bar, but it did. It is battling. So is it above that mid Kelt right now, and just playing tug of war. See where it goes. Let's look at the trajectory of that. Starting to kind of level out, and now we get finally a break of that mid. So again, you know, we're gonna test our stop losses. I'd probably take a little profit here, although it could easily consolidate sideways and bounce back up, and I could be right back in that. But I probably am not taking profit just yet, but I probably got it about the 80 range, maybe the 78 range. You don't want to give up all your profit. Never do that, man. So stochastic looks bad here. Volume looks bad here. I'd be looking at my stop losses at this juncture. So, and sideways to be expected. And it wants to stay with that mid Kelt channel. And that's awesome. I mean, we want it to do that. We want it to break above that. We want that to be kind of our guideline for us. And it's on the higher range now. So, I mean, if we did not sell out, which we most likely did not, now we have, if we bought here and here, we have doubled up our position here, and we're most likely going to double up here. So, this has actually been a good run for us. Let's see where we head. Notice these small bars. The small bars look pretty insignificant. They're just kind of like, we don't know which way to go. Okay, so now we're retesting this. We could retest this 80 range. We've seemed to form a high at this juncture. We don't quite know. So the range we have to work with right now is 81 to 100. That's kind of our channel at the moment here, and it looks to be leveling a little more sideways. So good thing we had our stops set, but we're still not out of this yet. We're still probably a full position. We may have just trimmed a quarter position though, depending on where we had our stop losses. We may have tightened those. And it looks like it wants to just head downward. So, yep, this is an indication. We took profit. We did pretty good. We probably didn't make half of this buy-in, or this buy-in, but we did pretty good overall with this trade. And it was kind of a short-term trend higher, but it was a pretty good run at what it was. I mean, it doubled in price. So let's see where this goes, though. Should we look for a bounce here and maybe keep this on our watch list for a buy opportunity here? Yeah, but we should have taken some profit from our buy-ins here. Keltner channel's looking downward, stochastics looking downward. Not any major sellers here. It's just the sellers have taken over, but not significantly. So I would expect a bounce not too far. I don't think we're going to revert back to this level here, but I would say maybe the 60 range, maybe 70 range we'll see where it heads. So it may want to hold up right here, and it's consolidating sideways, looking like it wants to form a base. Could you buy back in here? Little risky, but you could. Yeah, I mean it's a tough call. This really could go either way. I would look for more information really because it could easily turn downward. But if you're in it, you just scored, man. Yeah, if you bought right there, you just hit the jackpot. I don't know if I bought right there or not. I can't quite remember honestly, but look at that volume there. Huge up day with major volume. If I recall correctly, I think I was still in this stock from this original position, but I'm not quite sure on that. But looking good. And a lot of times, though, remember these big bars here, they can get cut back in half. So even if this, I mean, this could go for a long time, we could actually start to see a little breakdown right off the bat, and then it build up that channel base to go higher. So let's see what it does, though. Would I be a buyer here? You could. I mean, that's strong buyers coming in right there. They liked this level. They felt like this consolidation was enough. Somebody felt something was enough. That was institutional buying right there. So, yeah, and you could follow right along with it, but I would set a stop loss. I think it's going higher, and it is. Yeah, it's broken well above this Keltner, the top Keltner line. Look at that. So if we bought in here, 92, we're already up probably 12 points or so, and just continuing higher. Let's see if it gets exhausted or if it just gets. I would expect it to kind of revert back to this middle Keltner channel. That ran up quickly, and if you're in there, that's a good run. You could consider taking profit there, or you could just hang out for it. And it's probably going to consolidate. It may build higher, and it does. Look at that. That's awesome. So this is on bigger volume. Man, look at that. Look at that. So I want to be in this stock at this point. If I better have been in here. I hope to stay the course. I wouldn't think I sold out at this juncture, but you never know. If I bought here, my stop loss most likely would have been probably down here somewhere, but if not farther down. But yeah, this is a good run. Would I add here? If I bought here, I'd probably add here too. Although, again, this could easily cut in half, but I assume this is going to trend higher. But we'll see. And consolidate sideways. Yeah, per norm. Just see how that gets cut in half. I mean, right off the bat, it gets cut in half. That's pretty standard. It didn't do that with this here, but that does happen a majority of the time. And this could break down. So we went from this level here to a completely new level. I mean, we just got elevated upward. And now it's going to be like, well, what are we doing up here? So we got to find some friends up here is basically what it's got to do. So it's going to find that middle line, break below that middle line. And let's see where it goes. I think it's going to meet resistance here. It looks like it will. Trending sideways and wanting to break upward. Trending sideways and wanting to break upward. Trending sideways, wanting to break upward. So now we may have, so we got two big up days with big volume. And then we got some large up days over here. So the sellers are pretty small, whereas the buyers are pretty large. The buyers are in control here. Would I add here? Very possible. If I have here and I have here, there is a good chance I would add here too. Keeping stop losses close at bay. You don't want them too far off. You want obviously room to maneuver. You want to be careful of just small little bounces. You don't want to get knocked out with small little bounces. That's the worst. But you obviously do not want to lose major capital either. So always check your risk levels. Always. So yeah, we're probably at a full position now. And will this continue higher? Let's see if it breaks down from that mid-Kelt, but I feel it's going to resist right there. Yep. And breaks back upward. Does it with big green and green volume. So we're still seeing buyers here. Will it find a whole new level? Looks like it wants to, but yeah, man. So if we bought down here, we're up probably 60 points or so, 60 plus. If we bought here, we're about 25 points, 26, 27. And then if we bought here, we're up maybe 12, 13 points or so. So this has been a good stock for us, man. What a trend. We love it. I mean, if you bought down here where we were considering it, and there's a possibility we may have, we doubled up. So buyers all along the way. Looks good. Is it going to get exhausted? Most likely. Yep. So you got to expect that. That's why we keep the stop losses close. Big down day, little volume. Probably just going to stay in that channel. Most likely anyway. And yep. Just look at that. Revert right back up. So just following this midline. Just following the midline upward. Nice little trajectory there. And let's see if this creates a resistance here or if it breaks above that. Let's see. It may take a little juice to do that. Let's see what happens. And we're starting to see this mid Keltner kind of level out a little bit. We're starting to see the stochastic kind of break down slightly. Little bit turn in the volume side of things. Could we sell here maybe? Remember, check those stop losses, man. Yeah, because this is probably going to, not too bad. Yeah, it's breaking down a little bit, and it does break down. So most likely, remember, as I mentioned earlier, or in previous videos, you don't have to necessarily go off of that stop loss all the time. If you start to see a lot of this red bar action and you just like say, this just doesn't look right, sell out right here, man. Just get out, And again, there's probably a better chart elsewhere. You've just bought a stock at 88 and you're selling it at, if you sell it up here, 132 to 120 something, So, I mean, take your profits, man. Don't be too greedy. So stochastic looks bad. Volume's changing a little bit. We're kind of breaking below. Looks like this low level resistance here, or support, excuse me. Let's see if it breaks this 112 level. So, or test that range. And it may meander sideways. Yeah, this is kind of a sideways action. So now we're kind of creating this channel. As you know, it's let's see if it tightens up a little bit. So we've got kind of a double top here. It's kind of quick succession there, but it's the 153 to 155 range, and we got a bottom of 116 to 120 range. So that's our channel right now. Let's see where that stays, if it stays within it, or if it gradually rises from that, and it may rise from that. So resistance, 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 resistance. Could you buy here? Sure. If you took some profit here, you probably didn't sell your full position here, so you could maybe add a quarter of that. So if you were at half position right here, you could add a quarter here. I could see that, but we're still in this range though. So remember, I don't know if I would expect much from this buy. So I would keep the stop loss a little bit closer. You definitely don't want to lose a ton. You don't want to lose the profit back here. So, yeah, it breaks down. So if you bought in there, you were sold out very quickly, which was fine. You still did well. It's still in this channel. Yeah, it's just breaking down from that though. So it's breaking back down to that previous level and down to the 100 range, 98 range. So even if we tried here, which most likely I probably wouldn't have felt it at that point. Just depends on what kind of mood I was in that day, most likely. I probably would have gone small, maybe bought 5 shares or so, or maybe just bought back what I sold here, but that all depends, So definitely sellers. Major slope in the stochastic. It's broke below the Keltner channel. This is probably off to the races as of right now. So what are we going to look for? Another buying opportunity, right? So we want to see where this forms a base. We don't want to catch a falling knife. We don't want to buy something that's going to continue downward. Is this our buy point right here? And that's a tough call. Change in volume, stochastic is low, rising. It broke above the low line of the Keltner, so could it try to form a range here? Yeah, it could. Most likely, this is going to be a more of a trend play at this point. Do I think it's going to come back and retest this level up here? Most likely not right away, but you never know. I mean, it could most likely hang out in this range. So if you buy here at 104, 105, you could expect maybe to, get to this 126 range in a hurry, so I would probably be a buyer here. And let's see where it goes. Remember to always keep that stop loss close, somewhat close anyway. And it just wants to chug a little higher. So, yep, it's chugging a little bit higher, Yep. And tug of war, not a whole lot of action. I don't expect to make a lot of money on this. I would probably want to sell if a big red bar came, just to keep this as a trend play, not so much a long-term play here, because I don't think it's going to have a lot of steam here. Yeah, and I may take some profit right there, depending on what position I put in, or just wait for one more day, 2 more days. Yeah, I'd take profit. Yep, and reverting back down. But what's this going to do? Is it going to create a higher low for us here? Just look at the formation of this Keltner. It's a little bit of the actually Minervini series there. So hopefully, we'll see. Maybe not. It may break down from that. Yeah, it is. So forming kind of a new range here. So what was previous resistance at some point could be previous support. That can always change. Lower highs, this will probably become a lower low, but this could also form as support right here. So something for this to bounce off of and create that pinball action. But this looks horrible. Stochastic looks bad. Volume looks bad. No reason to really be in this at this point. Will it bounce from this level here? It may. Yep, it went a little farther and bounced. Do I have conviction in this? Not really. But could you buy here? Let's look for more information. You could put on a position there. If you sold here for the trend, you could try the same thing here. You don't want to give much back. So definitely, again, what do? Set our stop loss. And yeah, it's trending higher. It's not going to be much either. So yeah, again, set your stop loss close. Make a little 8-point quick gain. Get out of it. Yeah. And consolidating sideways. And that's where we're at right now. Okay, so we did make it all the way through. All right. What do we see as of right now? So we see 2 big green bars. This is 9/19/2021. We see some green volume here, which is a little bit interesting. But we also have kind of created this smaller channel range, which is a little bit scary. So what I want to see is I want to see it break from this 108 range very easily. If it does so, I may be a buyer, and I want it to retest this 130 range. We've got a little bit of support here, 90, and we got the 96 level of resistance. I want to see that just gradually increase. I want to see it rise to 106, to 112, to 120. So I want to see these gradually becoming larger, create this channel upward, maybe consolidation and a little tightness in price action. So I am in this right now. I think I bought right here somewhere, and it's done pretty well for me thus far. And I've bought in the past too. I think I bought this trend right here, and I sold, I think, somewhere right here. So that was probably a 20-point gain for me there. And then I think I'm up 8 or 9 points here. I think I actually stayed the course with this little down, a few bars down here. I don't think I sold it, if I recall correctly. But so I am in this position right now. We will see how it goes. Be sure to like the video, hit subscribe. I will also be changing things up down the road, to show more other sides of technical analysis as well. So I don't always use the Keltner channel. I don't always use volume. I don't always use slow stochastic. I may do some clean charts. I may just change things up a bit. But I'm also going to do a lot more of these. But just tell me if you like them, and I hope to continue on with them. Okay? Have a blessed day. Thank you for watching.